Top 5. Let's address the elephant in the room. We shall. Anyway, hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. For all my returning subscribers, welcome back to another video by your ultimate fave. And for all my new subscribers, I genuinely hope you click the subscribe button because you know what this channel is about. It's about giving you guys all the best content from your ultimate fave. I'm really excited to be back here doing another sit down video, but I'm not too sure how this video is going to play out, you know, because man, kiti fila no se kuphamisa difuba. Understand? It's no longer a case of no, I just don't wanna. Yay! Ngizoyiqhaqhake namhlanje. Imina lo. Angithi imina vele inja yestrata enchichiriza ngayo umgodo wenje mina. No, today I'm about to render it correct. But anyway, I've got my glass of wine. No, I'm kidding, guys. I'm actually going to be doing a simple Q&A, you know, just giving you guys a quick little life update. I've got my red wine here. Honestly, I'm trying to slow down on drinking wine because you guys know that I'm obviously on this weight loss journey. I've lost 10 kilograms. I'm still 5 kilograms away, but I've actually spent the last few days kind of not eating really well, not going to the gym as frequently as I do. So it's kind of affected my sleeping habits, it's affected my eating habits, it's affected my intermittent fasting. So a lot has been happening, guys, but I'm back on track. For anybody who wants to know where I got my hair from Share Hair. You guys know that that's my new hair plug for now. But I will say this, I don't know how to install a frontal. So you guys know that I obviously got a new hair to install my frontal and I installed it on Friday. So I reinstalled it today and it's obviously not as put together as it normally would be. But you know what it is, we live and we learn. I'm playing around with ghost bonds, so it is what it is. Now guys, after the recent developments, yo guys, that's essentially what's happening. So I really wanted to do like an updated Q&A. A lot of my subbies asked me to do an updated Q&A because I feel like they mostly had more or less one question to ask me, and you know, the old me would definitely shy away from being involved in any sort of controversy, but I think I'm just going to answer things as truthfully and as honestly as I can. And I'm obviously going to keep her, you know, cute, keep her respectful. We don't roll in the mud with the pigs, you know, unless you know what, the pigs want to get dirty. But guys. Hey, Mdimu is definitely a gent from the east. Mdimu, who is it? Are Zugbaba. It's been a couple of weeks, but anyway. So I asked, yo guys, and also my lash, I know my other lash it's lifting, but then again it is 11 p.m. so please give me some grace. I just came from a kind of dinner tasting with Cream South Africa. They invited me, so I came with my sister, and it was a lovely 4-course meal. Shout out to Cream South Africa because what they've done tonight was kind of really elevate like my taste. Okay, but anyway, let me not go off on like Cream too much, but I had such an amazing experience. You guys probably will see it when I drop this video. You will have seen it on my Instagram stories, right? Okay, so I obviously did what I normally do. I went to my Instagram and I asked everybody to genuinely ask me what they wanted to know, and we could obviously answer all those questions. But without rambling too much, let's get into it. Right? So Anonymous said, is being a content creator draining? What motivation do you have for an upcoming content creator? It really can get draining. I mean, like any other job, like any other career, sometimes you really need to put the work in, and it's very difficult to maintain the same level of energy when you don't see the fruits of your labor. You know what I mean? It can be very difficult, but I think what you're asking me is, what motivation would I have? I think I would say, like, keep at it if this is what you're passionate about. I don't want anybody to pursue anything out of some false narrative that, oh, you're gonna be rich or you're gonna be like this. You would need to pursue content creation if you're passionate about it. But with any other passion, it requires a level of hard work. You know, I mean, one is not mutually exclusive to the other. As much as when you're passionate about content creation, it will still be draining because it's like a 24/7 on the job kind of effort all the time that requires you to constantly be present. And another element of being a content creator, which I think you guys have seen from my end, is the constant scrutiny, the constant being exposed to a whole lot of negative critique. And you need to find a way to manage that and not let that get in the way of your end goal. So honestly, the motivation I have is that if you have the passion for content creation, remember that it is a job like any other passion you pursue. It requires a certain level of commitment, a certain level of discipline, and that's when you will see the fruits of your labor. Don't be misguided or misled by what you currently see on social media now. Remember why you started and what your end goal is, because our goals aren't the same. So I think that's what I would say to an upcoming content creator. Okay, Anonymous said, what's your biggest bag to date? Like bag as in like a guy I've dated who has lots of money, or my biggest bag, or like the biggest bag I've ever made? And why the hell would I tell you that? Either or. I don't know if I would tell you guys, but just know it's big, in both ways. It was big. No, not the former, not the one about a man. I always don't know how I end up with the niggas who really on shit, bro. Like, but I guess I could say I've dated my fair share of very touch and go rich niggas, but I clearly don't have what it takes. I clearly don't go to the right theology. I clearly am not using the right words for a man to take out large quantities of money for me. You know what I'm saying? So if you're talking about the latter, how much money I've made to date, I'm still not going to answer that one because no, come on. No, why? No, just know it's big. Just know we're talking big, we're talking guap here. That's it. That's what I'll say. But maybe I'll tell you one day, because the biggest amount I've made is very close to what I want, but it's not what I want. So it's not, and also I feel like it's a bit different, because I can say the biggest bag I've ever made in 1 year would be this, but then the biggest bag I've ever made as a single individual campaign is also quite big, but it's still not something that I feel is brag worthy. Yeah, but all I'll say was over 200k, but it's not brag worthy. Nah. What happened when you met Felolity? Yo, guys, bendinga kono guzbamba. I genuinely, like, I couldn't hold myself back from like what I felt when I saw him. Like, you know, I've had crushes on South African gents before. You know, it's a normal thing. It's happened to me time and time again. But I don't think I've ever had a crush on an artist that literally made me stop dead in my tracks and go, I love you. But essentially what happened is it was the NBA event that was hosted by Hennessy, and they were doing the watch party for the final basketball game that was playing between the Miami Heat and the Denver Nuggets, right? So I obviously knew what the lineup was. I don't know if Philo was playing that night, but he was playing that night. He was on the lineup. So I knew he was gonna be there, but I obviously didn't think at any point I would literally or physically see him unless he was on the booth. You know when you just see a man and you just want to smell him, like, you know when you just want to go, yeah, no, okay, yes, oh, perfection. Guys, let me say this without blushing. All I'm gonna say is, as soon as I saw him, I didn't know what to say. I lost all wording, I lost all sensibility, I lost all credibility. Oh, my bad bitch, I'ma get him, I would be the bitch that he needs, It all went out the window. There was some point where I sat next to him and I didn't fucking know what to say. The whole time I was just like, Mats, I love him. So yeah, I saw him. He was a really nice guy. He smelled so good. He looks exactly like his pictures. And I think him being perfect in real life pisses me off. And do I think we'd make a great couple? Probably. Would he date me? He probably thinks I'm too out there. But think about it, guys. Like, have you seen Oscar Mbo and his girlfriend, Roadto, dog? I really feel like fellow and I, dog. Yes, sis. Ngapa ka Nike head to toe. Ngashapa basibitsa ngisfazo honaje ingaza leye with a long guys ngashapa reka roka trip lang understand what I'm I love it, bruh. I'm done loving that man. But you know, when I saw him, I completely lost all wording, and I don't know, man. I just, bruh. I think he's the first guy I've ever met in real life that makes me want to date an artist, because that's how much attraction I have towards him. But, and you know what my fear is about being so heavily attracted to someone? It's when you sleep with it, you know? Like, I'm genuinely hoping that all my fantasies about him are on the mark, bro. That's what I'm saying. But I met him. He's a great guy. He smells even better, and he just Ooh. Anonymous said, are we seeing your future Porsche this year? Guys, we're already in the middle of the month. We're already in the middle of the year, okay? Unless there is or Loadto, or there's this big campaign that gives me 2 meter deck cash. I don't know. If Drip comes back and wants to work with influencers, I don't know, dog. I don't know. But honestly, I don't think so, and I'll say why. Because a lot of my subscribers know how much I want to move. And I have a really good SUV. I've only had it for about like 2.5 years. So yeah. This year in July would only mark 3 years with that car. So hey, I don't know, bruh. Unless my parents also change their mind and they're in the way to, you know, give me a car. Like, guys, I've suffered enough, don't you think? But yeah, no, I don't know, guys. Let's pray about it. Maybe the next 3 months will change, eh? We better. I mean, my birthday's at the end of the year. Maybe Fellow will buy it for me. Anyway, whatever. How many brands are you currently working with? I'm so proud of you, by the way. I'm working with quite a few brands right now, and there is one big brand that I'm working with that I probably will announce on my channel that I'm extremely proud to be working with. It's a corporate brand, and I think one of the things I am branching out into is corporate MCing, because I realize that MCing is another part of, or an extension of myself that I love to do. I love to talk in front of crowds. I really love to be there front and center, educating about the brand. So yeah, I don't want to say how much or what's happening, because obviously you don't know from the contracts you've signed. Guys, read your contracts. But I am working with quite a few brands right now. I'm working with quite a few brands, yeah. Someone said, when do you think you'll be ready to have a baby? I doubt, hey? I doubt. I'm not seeing it, hey? Like, I'm not seeing where it's going. Like, I just don't see it. Like, yeah, no. Anonymous said, who are you dating? I'm dating a human being. Like, sometimes I even wake up and think I'm not dating him. I'm also not sure if I am dating him, but I know that he's dating me. But am I dating him? I don't know. Man, I keep on my blogs. I get in No. There is someone in my life, but I'm obviously, for very, very obvious reasons, not going to tell you who he is. No. Anyway, Anonymous said, what do you think is wrong with relationships in today's society? I don't know if you're asking about platonic relationships or personal, like romantic relationships, but if you're just asking as like an overall thing, I think today's society, there are relationships where there's a whole lot of transactional input-output. So people come in with expectations from one person to the next. I think we've completely disconnected from getting to know other people, from giving people the benefit of the doubt. We've completely disconnected from the concept of love. I think the culture, the society that we in has definitely, as much as it's from a female perspective, without obviously trying to stereotype everyone into my thought process, from a female perspective, what I love about what society has done, it's definitely made women more vocal about their independence and their wants and their needs from men. I think we're no longer afraid to say that I want a man who brings to the table what I bring to the table, right? But the only downside of the culture that we're exposed to is that it's very toxic. It consists of a transactional input-output. It's like I'm not gonna date a man if he doesn't have money. I'm not gonna date a woman if she doesn't have a fat ass and she doesn't have a job and, you know, she's homosexual and she does away games or whatever the hell Twitter keeps saying. You know, Twitter says a lot. Like, I think I at some point believe I was shamed for the type of men that I was dating. Like, oh, Naledi, why do you date someone like him? You deserve so much better. You deserve a man who's in a higher, like, you know, stature, da. And I kept going back to the fact that I didn't like men like that. I genuinely liked men who I wanted to get to know, men who I felt were working as hard as me and were grinding as hard as me, and, you know, kind of our wins together were more sentimental than me meeting a man who had more money. And the only reason for that was because I've dated a man with money and I've been exposed to the bad side of dating a man with money. So I never, maybe my reasoning and my moving away from it was because of the bad things I was exposed to, and I never wanted to feel that again. I never wanted to feel like I was replaceable or I had to submit to a man who clearly didn't respect me enough to gain that submission, you know? So yeah, I think today's society, we're influenced by a lot of, like, you know, what the culture is saying, and I'm not saying that a lot of it is good. I'm just saying people are vocal, and a lot of the time it's about things that we wouldn't consider right, we wouldn't consider wrong, but it's everybody's opinion, dude. You know, like, I don't want a woman to want to date a man that's beneath her, even though she wants a man who's above, and now she must accept dating the man who's beneath her because the man who's beneath her now has a low self-esteem because he's not like the man who's above. Like, just do what you want. If you want to date that guy, if you want to date a rich nigga, date a rich nigga. Just do whatever you want without the societal standards that are running in your mind. I hope I've said that, because I feel like I've said a lot of nothing, basically. I've basically said, in very long, bombastic words, do whatever the fuck you want. Somebody said, how are you doing? Like, really doing? I'm doing okay, mama. Like, I'm doing a whole lot better than I was maybe a few months ago. I think, guys, angazi ive kuyimo bengathanda ukuthandaza mara yazi ukuthandaza guys kune output. I felt a whole lot better mentally, emotionally, spiritually, at the beginning of the year, or maybe towards like mid of the year. So I would say maybe around your February, March, I really got to a point mentally where I didn't know who I was or where I was going anymore. And I just felt like I was seeing all these bad things kind of unfold. And I really needed to take a step back and reflect. And I really needed to come back to, who is Naledi? I just felt like Naledi became so lost in trying to be what everybody wanted her to be. I felt like I became so lost, and I pushed away because, you know, social media had kind of created this narrative of me being this villain, this bad person, of which I'm not gonna lie, I'm truly grateful to be vindicated as of late, but it was at the cost of my mental health. You know, it was at the cost. It costed me so much, and it put me in such a bad mental space that I wasn't entirely sure I was gonna get out of it. But I'm out, girl, because you know you can't keep a good man down. Ooh-wee. Someone said, why haven't you made me your Ben 10, Mara? Because I don't know you. Like, but if I'm a diva, what Ben 10 I'm just something. Let me get to know you. No, come on, man. Anonymous said, what car are you driving? Just know it's a car. It's got 4 wheels, but it's a car. That's all I'm gonna say. Anonymous said, why are you no longer consistent on YouTube? Is it because of what YouTube has done to me? Oh, well, to you, that being me. Well, that's a difficult question to answer, but the answer you're looking for is yes. It's exactly because of what YouTube has done to me. I took a lot of L's last year. You know, I took quite, no, as a matter of fact, the YouTube platforms, I took quite a few L's. You know, I was painted as a villain. I felt I was mad at how hard I worked, and I like you guys are saying, you didn't see the fruits of your labor. I think as much as you guys are gonna hate this from me, and this has nothing to do with how I feel about the other people who won, I'm still so happy for them, but I was upset about not getting YouTube Black. It also put me, I think from YouTube Black, I just took a deep dive because I was doing so well during not Vlogmas, October Vlogmas, Vlogtober. I was doing so well in Vlogtober. I was really determined. I really wanted to get it, and I didn't. And you know, that's life. Life is a series of not everything. Just because you have a large team of people rallying for you, it doesn't mean that it's actually going to work out in your favor. And as much as, you know, I've not gotten brand deals with brands that I wanted to work with, and as much as that hurt, you know, I didn't get campaigns that I wanted. I didn't get a lot of things, but that one hurt me deeply, and it actually broke my spirit. Yes, young break hele. Yes, young breaker. Yo. That broke me. That really, really, I think that was the deepest punch I took last year. Amongst, you know, all the other things that happened on the YouTube platform, not getting YouTube Black. And for me, I was working towards YouTube Black. As much as, you know, I may have not said it as much as I did, but I was working towards YouTube Black. I felt like this is my year, I can feel it, I'm gonna get it, and I didn't. And it was a lot. It was a lot more than I could comprehend for me, you know? I worked tirelessly to obviously create content on YouTube. I mean, the part and parcel is that I also make money off YouTube, and I make really good money off YouTube, but I don't know what I felt that recognition was going to do for me, but I needed it a lot more than I wanted to admit. So losing it was just like it was a punch to my stomach, and I took a break. I really started to reflect on why I wanted this so bad. Like why did I feel like one I don't want to call it a competition, but one opportunity that I wasn't presented with, why did I feel like that diminished all my hard work? Which is what I felt. I felt like I resorted to nothing. I was just like, but what the fuck is this? You know? But that's life. And if there's anything that loss did, is just that it reaffirmed how hard I've worked, what I've put in, why it hurts. It just brought my feelings back. It revived my sadness, my anger, my anguish, my 10,000 hours, my 20,000 hours, my everything. But it also kind of then forced me to refocus the lens. Why am I on the YouTube space? What am I getting out of being here? You know, like, do I think if I was on YouTube Black, I would have been more committed, or whatever the case may be? Was it going to change anything besides obviously the huge lump sum of cash that everybody gets? Was that going to change anything about me and the plug that I've gained by myself, and the viewership that I've gained by myself, and the love that I've gained from my subscribers by myself? Was it going to change anything? And the answer was no. And then I also realized how competitive I became about it. I also realized how I was now doing it because I wanted to reaffirm something to people and not to myself. YouTube Black was no longer about me. YouTube Black was fueled by a lot of other things that I wanted to prove to other people. So yeah, I took a step back. I stopped being consistent. I started realizing that I was doing YouTube to gain something, and it was no longer about being a part of a community that embraces me and my persona. So I just took a break, but I'm still good. Like, this is still my passion. This is still what I love to do. Even when I don't upload for some time, I feel really bad. But I also realize now that I'm not just a YouTuber. I'm a TV personality, you know. I do voiceovers. Like, my job or my profession is no longer centered around digital content creation, and I need to accept that there are other things in the path for me that might not include being a part of, you know, the history of YouTube Black, and that's okay. But just to be a part of YouTube is enough for me. I just lied about that last part. I still want to be a part of YouTube. Okay, next question. What keeps you going when things get tough in your career? My family and friends. They keep me going, knowing that I have people who actually know me off this you know, platform, who know me inside and out, who actually stand up for me, who teach me to stand up for myself. Those are the people that keep me going. Someone said, what would you do differently if you were starting in your industry now? Nothing, actually. Nothing. I think everything I've done up until this point was everything I needed to do to learn the real industry that I work in, the people that I surround myself with, the energies that I allow into my private space. Everything that has happened is everything that needed to happen. Without that, I wouldn't be Naledi M. I wouldn't have these lessons, I wouldn't have these scars, I wouldn't have these wounds that allow me to be both vulnerable but to also have boundaries, because I didn't have that, you know what I mean? So I think I wouldn't do anything differently. No. Someone said, what really helped you on getting your name out there? It's YouTube. I don't want to lie to you guys. I don't want to create a gimmick that's not there. What got my name out there is my YouTube channel. Everybody who knows me now, whether it be on TV, whether it be on, you know, other podcasts, it is YouTube. This is what I'm known for, you know. Someone said, how's your weight loss journey going? My weight loss journey is going super well, like, I love it so much. Someone said, yo, everyone's saying the most, like, everyone's saying everything. Are you single? Are you single? Who's your new man? Yeah, one. Okay, another person said, have you had any cosmetic surgeries? If so, what are they? No. I think the only thing I can say I've ever had is braces. Would that count? Cosmetic surgeries, unless you're talking about like lipo, BBL and all that other stuff, I've never done any of that. I've definitely considered it, but this was like last year because I was at my heaviest. I was at like 80 plus. But I then got to a point where I was just like, I don't want to do it. Not because the money wasn't there, or not because I didn't feel the urge to do it, but then to a certain degree I got really scared. I read, you know, stories about people who have died on the table, and I was just like, I'm not trying to go out because of like a kidney failure. Oh, and I think I also have trauma of going under the knife because my mom, my real mom, went under the knife and she never really came out of surgery. So I still have that trauma connected to my personal reasons. But also another thing I didn't want to create was a narrative to my subscribers, because I have a really big following of young subscribers, and I didn't want to do anything that would lead them to believe that you need to look a certain way to get to a certain point, or I didn't want to start embedding something that I wouldn't want my younger sister to learn or encourage or adopt. You know, I think everybody has the right to do whatever they want to their bodies. I mean, I envy all the women who do cosmetic surgery because I want to 80% of the time. But then I'm also, besides the personal aspect of it, I'm just like, I also don't want to perpetuate this narrative of, you know, I don't know how to say it without sounding like I'm obviously being weird towards other women. So I think I'm actually going to cap it there. It has nothing to do with them. It's more so for me. It's more so I think about it. And honestly, I have a really great body. I just need to fucking go to the gym, bro. Like I have no reason not to have the body of my dreams, because the body of my dreams is my actual body. But then I've got a fupa, and then I've got, you know, cellulites on my thighs, and then I've got hip dips. So other than that, what would be the real reason for me doing lipo? Really? Like, Yabana, that's the greed that they talk about in the Bible, literally. Someone said, Lord, how God is fighting for you, mama. Now God fought. Now God said, wait a damn minute. God said, hold the F on. God said, hold my holy water. And God said, I honestly feel like I've been vindicated in such a way that it shocks me. It shocks me to see how standing in your truth, as difficult as it is, as much as it isolates you, but when the truth does come out, which it does, it is a shocking wave of emotional support. You know, it's a shocking wave of I'm sorry's and whatever the case may be. And I'm not gonna lie, there still is a lot of resentment. It's not like anything changes overnight. Now you still have resentment to the people that didn't believe you in the first place. You know, now you have resentment asking yourself, Kanti yini that makes you guys not believe me when I'm telling something or telling my side of the story. But then I think the takeaway from all of this was that I am so glad that I stood in my truth. I am so glad that I chose not to lie. I am not happy with how I've protected people who have thrown me to the dogs constantly, and for a couple of clicks, for a couple of AdSense from YouTube, because that's literally what happened. But I'm not gonna lie, it really is true when they say he who laughs last laughs the longest. And I'm gonna be laughing for a very long time. Someone said, are you in a relationship and are you and Drake still cool? Like I said, I'm not really sure if I am in a relationship, but I haven't spoken to Drake in over 3 years. So I think it's safe to say we're not cool, but obviously on my end, like, I have no bad blood towards him. I think I've done my time of emotional healing, so I've just never seen him, never spoken to him, and yeah, I wish him all the best, honestly. Okay, I'm gonna answer maybe the last few and then we can call it a day, because everyone is asking me the same question. Someone said, what has been your biggest lesson throughout your YouTube journey? My biggest lesson throughout the YouTube journey was that the truth is, YouTube is like any other industry. It's like corporate. It's a dog-eat-dog world. I've watched people that I genuinely looked up to and admired become the catalyst of their own doom. I've watched people in shock at what they do and what they put themselves through for a paycheck. And it is honestly the most comical and yet saddening thing I've witnessed from anybody. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not gonna dog anybody's choice of career, okay? I'm not gonna dog anybody who decides to do anything. I mean, look at that other guy who was doing Amapiano Day on Twitter with his keyboard, and everybody kept making fun of him, and then he just kept going off until he started making beats that were really good. But if there's one thing social media will do, is it will create a monster, and the monster is truly like the core of who you are and your desires. That is your monster. If your desires are to be famous, you will try to be famous at any cost, even if it means throwing your own friends under the bus. If your desire is money, you will do anything at any cost to get money. You know what I mean? So now I'm trying to check, what the fuck was my desire, bro? Like, I couldn't have really just loved taking L's. Like, maybe I had a low self-esteem and my desire was to find healing through this platform. I don't even fucking know what my desire was at this point. But the desire more so for me was to really find myself in the space, and I've watched other people kind of use the space with these kind of preconceived narratives that weren't real. Like, they were a lie. Like, you know, some of the things that we consume on this platform are all a bunch of hogwash. Like, people make shit up. Like, you guys are ethically pack shit. You're pathological liars. Nina Like, for me, I would be so shocked to have to figure out, why would I lie to so many people who probably know me personally? Like, what do I gain from actually lying on a platform like this? But then again, it's the sociopathic world we live in. Like, we literally walk around a bunch of sociopaths. We're out here exposing ourselves and creating relationships with sociopathic people. I'm literally being dead ass. Anonymous said, how do you feel about Tato and Kamo coming out as a couple? I feel nothing. Oh God, what do you want me to feel? Really make you feel? Honestly. Okay, I'm gonna try to answer this without being a shady ass bitch. Okay, I feel nothing. I feel nothing about them coming out as a couple. I think when it comes to me and the guy in question, we have no relations, in the sense that, like, we're cordial in public. Like, you know, obviously everybody has seen how things have transpired on the show, and everybody has kind of seen how we have tried. Well, I wouldn't say we have tried, but I would say things were done in such a way that I don't think anybody in that right mind would be ready. I know for a fact, like, I'm just keeping my distance, but we are cordial. Like, I have no ill intentions towards him under any circumstance. I also say I feel nothing towards the girl as well. I think the only thing I will say is this: when I look back at it, when I really have a chance to look back at what happened, there was a lot of disrespect that was experienced in that house. From what I saw, there was a whole lot of disrespect. There were a whole lot of things. There was a whole lot of behavior of enablement. So there were people who were witnessing this disrespect and were enabling it, maybe even promoting it. I don't know. I'm a big person of moral compass, and there were certain other elements of that story that I left out because it was obviously in protection of the friendship that I had with the guy, you know. And I still choose not to say anything because, like I said, it's never my place to talk about anybody's relationships or anything like that. But I also kind of cut off everybody in that house, because everybody in that house, I would say, agreed with me or shared my views on how I felt about what I was witnessing, but nobody had the balls to come out and say it. It all boils down to, you know, association, affiliation, really wanting to be associated with people, but at the cost of moral integrity. That shit is whack. It just goes to affirm that everything that I felt and I saw in that house regarding the two of them was true. Her disrespect towards me was probably because she felt really intimidated. I don't know what it was, because now that I look back at it, like, I think it was just the disrespect and the condescending tone towards me that makes me have no respect for her whatsoever. Like, I never will. We never have to be associated. Jolale ube happy, nibe happy. You understand? So towards the guy, like, I'm good, happy for them. Jolani nibe happy. But I will say this: if there's anything any of my exes have taught me, is that you are no exception to the rule. You don't walk into a situation like that and think that you are the different story. If anything, the only thing I hope for her is that she doesn't wake up a few years from now and realize that she was nothing but a pawn in a chess game of someone who probably wanted to create more content in relationships because it makes AdSense for them. Because that reality is also there. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about Leandro. And I will never say anything about it again. So that's all I feel. But like I said, no bad blood towards the guy. Like, I don't really have anything bad to say about him. I don't judge him or his decisions or anything of that nature. Someone said, would you say you're a daddy's girl? If I make this really, really dark joke about the fact that my mom passed away when I was 15, so I had no choice but to be a daddy's girl, would that work? Oh, guys, of course, I love my father. No, guys, I'm a daddy's girl, for real, for real, for real. And someone said, in a week, how often do you see your man? Guys, I don't even know if I have a man to see, you know? And someone said, any feeling for Robot Boy? Guys, I'm not dating Robot Boy. I'm not dating Robot Boy. Robot Boy is like a brother to me, honestly. Like, if we date, it'll shock me, myself, and I that I dated Robot Boy. But I want you guys to get that out of your head, because I say, Ailey, I'm not dating Robot Boy, and him and I are friends. Someone said, has sis, the hubbly lady, reached out and formally apologized since you clocked the tea? No. She has not reached out and formally apologized to me, nor do I expect her, nor do I really want that apology. I think I'm at a point where I have really tried to respect people even in my anger towards them, especially when it comes to social media platforms. I've really tried to shield people. I've really tried to not have my business be out there, but I think the lines in the sand have been drawn. I think I've experienced a lot of disrespect from the person in question. I think the person in question definitely used me as a, you know, a tactic to deflect from her relationship with her partner and maybe what she was feeling about that. But I really don't appreciate the narrative that she painted. I don't appreciate the whole victim stance that she took. And surprisingly, when I had released that video, I had not watched what the other lady had said. So when the other lady's story checked out to mine, I felt a sigh of relief. I felt like I was no longer this monster that everybody keeps trying to make me, you know what I mean? If there's anything 2022 and 2023 has taught me, is that humans are vultures when they're in survival mode. Humans will be vultures. Humans will act out of survival. Humans will act out of selfishness. Humans will say and do anything and convince themselves to and believe that the situation is the truth, when in actual fact it's not. And it's something I could understand, but now I think I can no longer tolerate or respect. Yeah, I'm cool. She's good. Like I said, last time I speak about anything in terms of Q&A, I think Jesus is good. You know, there was one of my other Twitter, I don't want to call her a follower because I also follow her, Cherry Cola. She was like, you know what, God is really fighting for Naledi right now. And I think that's the one tweet that I go back to every single time, because I'm just like, it's been a fucking long time coming. These people ruined my image. These people let a narrative of me run and said nothing. When they had every opportunity to also protect me, they didn't. These people let me be painted as this kind of rowdy character, you know. And I also kept quiet because I don't know if it was my inadequacies, or maybe I thought to a certain degree, maybe they are right, maybe I need to change, maybe I need to tone it down. But the truth is, nobody will ever get an opportunity to do me dirty like that again. And that's that on that about that. And I think I'm gonna end the video right there. I think that was a nice little ending. It gave a very Denzel Washington. It gave a very, you know, not Maurice Chestnut. Who's that guy that Samuel L. Jackson? Nah, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, it had that oomph, man. But anyway, y'all, that is it. I'm actually glad I got to do this video. I feel so vindicated. I feel good. I feel like I can, you know, sleep with an open heart. But anyway, guys, comment down below. Let me know what you thought about the Q&A. Do you think that I made it too long, too short? Would you have liked me to talk about anything else? But until then, I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next updated Q&A.